All right, let me give it to you straight. There's a moment that every leader hits. It's not a loud moment and it's not full of drama, but it's kind of silent. It's quiet. But that moment changes everything. It's that moment when you as a leader realize that nobody is coming. Nobody's coming to fix your team. Nobody's coming to fix your culture. Nobody's coming to fix your habits. And no one's coming to fix your results. Nobody. And that's when it finally clicks. It's when everything starts to move and shift. Because up until that moment, I hate to say it, but you've been waiting. You might not say it out loud, but you're waiting. Waiting for someone to step up. Waiting for things to get easier. Waiting for alignment just to magically come together. Waiting for that right time. You're waiting for that one thing, that something to change. Without you having to be the one to change it. Now, I'm not a hypocrite. I've been there. You look around and you ask yourself, why the hell isn't this better? Why is this damn team not stepping up? Why does this feel harder than it should? And if you're not careful, you're going to drift. You're going to get frustrated. And you're going to start looking outward instead of looking inward. But boom, something hits you. It's not cozy, comfortable. It is not comfortable at all, but it is powerful. You realize, just like Taylor Swift says, I'm the problem. I'm the variable. If this moves, it's because I move it. If this improves, it's because I improve it. If this gets better, it has to start with me. Now, let me get real with you here. That realization is heavy. Because it removes all the excuses. There's no one left to point at. There's no one to wait on. There's no one left to hope will fix it. But there's a shift. That realization, it's not pressure, but it's freedom. Because the moment you stop waiting, you start building. And that's where unfortunately some people get twisted. They hear no one is coming and they think, I have to do everything. Man, no, that is not leadership. Thinking like that creates a culture of micromanagement, creates a culture of control. And you can't scale control. So let me be very clear. Ownership does not mean you carry everything on your own. It means you take responsibility for how it gets carried. Big difference, huge difference. Ownership means you set the tone. Ownership means you create the clarity. And ownership means you define that standard clearly. And then you build people who carry it with you. Because strong teams aren't built on one person doing everything. They're built on people who know what matters. And they step into that without having to be chased. And that's the goal. No dependency, no bottlenecks. Not everything running through you, because that is not leadership. That's a ceiling. What you want is a team that moves. You want a team that thinks, a team that executes without waiting. That's called decentralized command. But it doesn't just magically happen by accident. It happens when the leader goes first. You don't get empowered by teams by stepping back too early. You have got to get them empowered by stepping up first. You create the clarity. You model the standard. You hold the line. And then you transfer ownership to people who are ready to carry it. So yeah, no one is coming. But that doesn't mean you're alone. It means you're responsible for building a team that doesn't need saving. Now, let's pull it back to you for a second. No fluff. No excuses. Where have you been waiting? Where have you been hoping something would change? Instead of deciding to change it. Where have you been giving your power away? Go out there and take it back. Not aggressively, and definitely not emotionally, but decisively. Start with one thing. Start with one conversation, one expectation, one habit. Move something forward. Because momentum doesn't come from thinking. Momentum comes from action. Momentum comes from confidence. That and that gets built in motion. There's where courage shows up. Not when it's easy and not when it's clear, but right here. In that moment where you know what needs to happen and you decide to step into it anyway. And candor, that's being honest with yourself. Not implementing any filters. No excuses. No stories. Just the clear truth with yourself. And heart, that's caring enough to do something about it. That's caring enough not to stay stuck. That's caring enough not to stay frustrated. That's caring enough to build something better. And not just talk about it. So I'm going to leave this with you. The moment you realize no one is coming, you stop waiting and you start building. And when you build it right, you don't build dependency. You build something much more significant. You build people. You build ownership. You build something that actually lasts. And if this cast hit you today, good. I'm glad it hit you. Because that means you're ready. Share this with a partner. Share this with someone on your team. Share this with another leader who you think might need to hear it. And if you're serious about leveling up yourself, please stay with me. Because that's what I'm all about, leveling up myself. Because this is the leadership edge, for crying out loud. And we don't freaking wait here. Hell no. We build. We'll see you next time. Joe out.